Hello everybody and welcome back to the SammySnake Racing YouTube channel. My name's Sam, aka SammySnake, aka the fastest snake in the world. Now, if you don't know who I am, what I'm about, let me tell you. So, full-time content creator on sim racing, but to be honest, just about everything is Gran Turismo 7. And unlike most content creators, we have covered the whole of Gran Turismo 7. Yes, we do the daily races and we race against some of the fastest players in the world, but we've also taken a deep dive into a lot of the single player campaigns. We've done speed runs of all the circuit experiences, all the missions, and speed runs of the license tests. Also, we've done guides on tunes, on how to earn credits, lap guides, open lobbies. So what I'm saying is, with this opinion piece on what Gran Turismo 8 needs, 12 things that Gran Turismo 8 needs, we've got a unique perspective. We've got thousands of hours playing the game, but we've played the game collectively as a whole. So I think I'm pretty well equipped to give some good opinions on what Gran Turismo 8 needs. So before I get into this, do me a favor, hit the like button, make sure you subscribe for future content. We're chasing 30,000 subscribers, so if you could help me get to that goal, it would be much appreciated. But with that done, let's get into it and let me tell you what I think Gran Turismo 8 needs in this next game to make it a success. Right, so let's fire through these then, shall we? So number one for me, I'd love to see functioning pit stops. At the moment, the way you serve a pit stop, you just come absolutely hurtling into the pit lane at maximum speed. You let go of the controls, the game takes over, puts your tires on, puts your fuel in, and you come out of the pits and then you pick up the wheel or the steering wheel again. What I love from other platforms is the fact that you have to skillfully enter the pits. You have to hit the speed limit at that line. You have to bring it in. You have to park it in the right place. You have to pull out safely and negotiate the pit exit. I think if Gran Turismo is calling itself the real driving simulator, we need functioning pit stops. So I would love to see that. I would add another element of when you need to make your pit stop, like risking coming into the pits as fast as you can while slowing it down, not incurring a penalty. You know, I think that would be a really good addition. So that would be my number one. It's not the most important, but it's the number one on this list. Now, number two for me would be Sophie AI across the board. Sophie AI is the most recent addition of improved racing AI in Gran Turismo 7. But currently, it's not available at every single track. So because it is so much better than the previous older version, I really think that we need that across the board, and I hope that should come as standard. But I think I need to mention that just in case somebody's watching this from Polyphony or Gran Turismo thinking, do we need this everywhere? Yes, you need it everywhere. It's much better. So Sophie AI everywhere. Now, number three on the list. This is more for VR players. Now, VR players take up a large section of Gran Turismo 7 currently, and at the moment I believe they're getting a little bit disrespected. They've been screaming out for better UI, better HUD in menus for the not just in the menus but whilst they're racing. And I think the biggest thing that they need to add, from what I've experienced when I've tested VR, is when you're racing, they need that live delta. They need the option to be able to have brake inputs, acceleration inputs, and speed, just like other people using the other views. Just because you're in VR, fair enough if you want to be fully immersed and you don't want that on there because you don't think that's realistic. But for the players that want to use VR but still have a level playing field with everybody else, they need those inputs. And at the moment, they don't have them. They're not being listened to. Gran Turismo 8 needs it. They are supporting your game, playing your game. So, you know, you need to step up and make sure that they have that. Right. Number four, vastly improved car categorization. If we take Group 1, for example, at the moment, you go and set up a Group 1 class race. We've got everything in there from concept cars to Group C cars to modern hypercars. Anything you can think of, with an absolute minefield of strengths and weaknesses. Even when you apply BOP, which is meant to be balanced overall performance, If you put all of the available cars on track that are included in Group 1, it's absolute pandemonium. It's crazy. It is not good racing when they do that. So we need to have better car categorization, not just for better racing when we set those races up, but also just to be able to select and have independent events. You know, have a Group C race, have a concept car race, have a GT500 race, have a modern hypercar race. Give us the options to be able to categorize these cars much better. That needs to be improved, not just Group 1, but across the board. I'm sure we could do that. You know, could have 911 turbos as a particular one. I would love to see that, and I hope that they do that in Gran Turismo 8. I've lost track of my numbers because I'm talking too much. But the next one, and this is actually something that's started to improve, but what I would love to see is modern race cars updated more frequently. We've recently had the Ferrari 296 and the Porsche 992 for the Group 3 cars, and 3 modern hypercars. But if we're being honest, it's a little bit late to the party. You look at other titles, you look at LMU, they've had these cars for quite a while, and we're lacking. Gran Turismo has huge resources. I'm sure they have the capability to add these cars in. We just need to do this sooner, and it has put a breath of fresh air into the game by having these newer cars available, and it gets you excited. So we need to make sure that Gran Turismo 8 is on the ball better. You know, we need these modern cars to be added. The race cars, and specifically, I don't think most players care about the SUVs and the pickup trucks as much as we do the modern hypercars, the modern Group 3 cars, Group 4 cars, the faster, more exciting cars that make you want to play the game. Not a lot of people have bought Gran Turismo to go, right, I can't wait to get in my Honda Jazz, do a few laps. So I hope that they do that in Gran Turismo 8. Now, this next one is probably something that might be controversial, and I'd love to know in the comments if you agree with me or disagree with me. Proximity chat as an option. So in the daily races or the open lobbies, basically when you're playing online, having the ability to talk to the other drivers near you without jumping into a PSN chat. You know, people you don't know, you don't normally talk to, you're having a good race with them, you can chat with them. If you're having a bad race with them, they do a move that you think's questionable, you can have a word with them. Now it could get a little toxic, so this is why I think it might be controversial, but I'm all for it. I come from the days of Call of Duty lobbies where flipping heck, that put hairs on your chest as a 13-year-old boy playing in those environments.
Bro, you're trash, bro. Is them tears, bro? Come on, bro. You gotta get you together, boy.
So I'm more than ready to allow proximity chat. I think it would make it funny. I think it would make it entertaining. And I think it needs to be in Gran Turismo 8. Let me know in the comments if you agree or not. Moving on from that, one of the things I think is a great selling point to Gran Turismo or any racing game, any sim racing game, is sound. Is hearing like the exhaust notes, the backfire of the exhaust when you're changing down gears, the engine notes when you're really revving the car out. But as we know, you know, inside a car sounds different to outside a car, and sometimes players like VR players or cockpit players or different views don't always get the best sound. So I think that they should allow you to, even if you drive with cockpit, have a different sound, you know, maybe chase camera, so you get to hear the exhaust notes better, or have your windows down. I don't know. I think you should be able to correlate your view in one way, but then how you hear it another. If you want to hear it from the outside but see from the inside, do it, because they go hand in hand. The immersion that you get when we're doing that is much higher. So I would love to see that. Now, moving on to my next opinion, scrap menu books, get rid of menu books. I don't know what they were thinking with the menu book ideas of progressing through the game, having to complete these menu books. I I remember I bought the game and all I wanted to do was jump in a lobby and play online with a mate of mine. We both bought it at the same time, and it took hours before we could even unlock. We didn't know what we were doing. We didn't know what we were doing. But I wanted to just jump online and we'll jump in a lobby and we'll do a few races. And it just took forever. It took forever to be able to have the freedom to do that. I just think it's a really poor structure. We need to scrap the menu book ideas. Didn't hit. So we need a restructure of the career mode, single player, more freedom, more diversity. Don't just funnel us down a boring menu book direction where we have no option but to do that. And it takes, before you unlock every single track, you've got to do 39 menu books. Mind-numbingly boring for me. So do not bring menu books back for Gran Turismo 8. But what we do need to do for Gran Turismo 8 is bigger lobbies. At the moment, we only have 16 players that we can have in a race. And on a game with like a PlayStation 5 game, we should be able to have more than that. Now, the reason it is capped at 16 is they made it compatible for PS4, PS5 users. Now, come on, if we get Gran Turismo 8, we need to increase that. And I think, to be honest, we need the option of having like at least 32 people on there. 24 to 32 people, maybe more. I'm sure the lobbies can take it. I'm sure PS5, PS6 can take it. Either way, by being restricted to 16, if it's a long race, a couple of people quit, you can get very lonely on track. You can't have multi-class races because there's not enough people there. It's not a great environment when it's only 16. So we need to have more people in these races. So increase the lobby sizes to at least 24. Now, moving on from lobby sizes, earning credits. Now, farming credits in Gran Turismo 7 is a long and arduous process. This is why I've created a dedicated playlist to how to earn credits, certain races, the best way, the fastest way. And that's why that's popular content in Gran Turismo on YouTube, because it's so hard. Now, if you want to save up money, like 20 million to buy a legendary car, the best race you can do, maximum potential, I think what I've done is maybe 2.4 to 2.5 million credits per hour. That's still a lot of time that you've got to put into it to earning that car. And that's with the best possible circumstances. Most races, if you're just doing normally, or not the best, there's 3 races that you can do currently, and 1 Daytona glitch, which is all on the playlist. Either way, it takes forever, and there's only really 3 races that earn you a decent amount of credits, and then a 4th glitch option, which still isn't particularly quick. Well, the point is, we need more diversity. If they're going to make it take that long to earn you credits, at least give us more options than just that. So we're not absolutely brain dead by the time we've finished getting those 20 million credits, thinking I could do this race with my eyes closed now. So we need more diversity for when we are farming credits, because at the moment it's just not there. It's just not there. So either make it easy to earn credits, or just have more options, bump up the difficulty maybe, and just, then have a higher reward. I don't know. Either way, the credits earning system is not great in Gran Turismo 7. We need more diversity is the main thing. Now, that's single player, but online sport mode related, more particularly, is the penalty system. You couldn't mention something that needs to change in Gran Turismo 8 if you didn't talk about the penalty system. Now, currently, the penalty system, the way it works, you incur a penalty for what the game thinks that you've done wrong. It could be a track limit penalty. It could be hitting another car off the track. It could be overtaking the yellow flag. It could be a 3-second penalty for going over the pit lane when you go into the pits. And the way you serve that penalty is you come to a line, the game takes control of your car, it presses the brake pedal at 100% for whatever penalty you have incurred. It could be anywhere from a 0.5 second penalty to a 20-second penalty if you're driving like a madman around the track. Now, here's the problem with this. First of all, the track limits are inconsistent. The way that they figure out who is responsible for an incident is inconsistent due to pinball physics, which is probably another thing that they need to look at changing. And then the way that people can adapt the way they drive and lean on another car, push them out, lean them off and push them out of the circuit. People can manipulate it to not have a penalty. And then the next problem is people have figured out how to minimize the penalty that they serve by either dipping 2 tires into the grass whilst the game takes over the car and makes them brake so it doesn't slow down as much. They don't incur much of a penalty, or they swerve left and right to minimize the amount of time they've lost. So we've got 2 major problems. The penalty system in its dynamic of how it is applying the penalty is flawed, and the way that people are getting punished is flawed. This needs to change. It needs a complete overhaul. It needs to be more accurate with how it punishes the person who is responsible for the bad driving, and there needs to be a penalty that people can't cheat to minimize how much time they are losing for the penalty that they have incurred. That is one of the biggest things that needs to change to improve the racing standards in the daily races. I see so often poor driving, poor moves, desperate moves, aggressive moves, and just overall bad racing. And I believe this is happening mainly because the penalty system is complete and utter rubbish. So that needs to change in Gran Turismo 8. Now, what I would like to see in Gran Turismo 8, which we haven't seen for a long time, is the return of downloadable content. And I don't mean downloadable content as in like the power pack. I mean like the featured downloadable content when we had, Sebastian Vettel, Lewis Hamilton, who were coming in and set a challenge. That to me was peak Gran Turismo. Absolute peak Gran Turismo. My best memories of playing Gran Turismo was trying to complete the Sebastian Vettel Red Bull X1 challenge. Was it called X2009? I can't remember what it was called, but it was Sebastian Vettel in the Red Bull car, and it was awesome. It was absolutely awesome. I would love if Gran Turismo would use the resources that they've got from selling 100 million copies of Gran Turismo games to be able to bring back big features like that. That would be amazing. Now, that's it. That is it for my list. So I want to hear in the comments, do you agree with all of the ones that I've mentioned? Would you disagree with some of those? Do you think that, no, we don't need that? And is there anything that you think that I've missed out on? Either way, let me know. And if you do agree with this and you think there's some good things, do me a favor, hit the like button, hit the hype, subscribe, and maybe share this video, because if this is a good list that you think needs to be applied to Gran Turismo 8, the more people that see it, the higher the likelihood that the people who are making Gran Turismo 8 may also see it and put these things into the game. So hopefully these are right, and this video is an absolute banger and it flies, and I get to 30,000 subscribers. So either way, that's it. That is it for this video. So I will leave you with that. Well, I appreciate you staying to the end of the video, and I will catch you in the next one. Take care.